I have to say, I really like my power tools, whether it be a large fixed circular saw like that, whether it be the take-off vacuum, blow vacs, chainsaws, what we've got down there, generator. I like them all. I do like circular saws just because they are so useful. However, having a big one like the DeWalt or a couple of smaller ones that I've got, they're not exactly the easiest to use, which brings into point this video, and it's on the HYCHIKA mini circular saw. So I'm just going to go through the features and benefits of it now, and you can see it in operation. So I was a little torn when I was buying this, in as much as I've gone for the corded model, and the main reason behind that was I've got lots of cordless power tools, and the ones that I use quite irregularly, I tend to find that when I come to use them, there's no charge in the battery, and you always want to use it immediately. So I thought, what's the point in getting a rechargeable one? In this instance, the cable's about 10 feet long, so you've got plenty of cable, but obviously you can use extension leads as well. But let's have a closer look at the actual tool itself. So what do you get with it? Well, 4 blades. You get 2 diamond cutting blades for ceramics and things like that. You get 2 rough cut blades, obviously tungsten tip there, and you get a fine cut blade, so that's 60 teeth on that one, fine cut blade. You get your guide, which is always useful. You get your vacuum accessories, and you also get 2 additional batteries which come in useful for the laser guide that's on top there. If I just switch that on, you'll see it. So there's the laser guide. See it on my hand. Now, I've found that batteries just last forever in these things anyway, so I wouldn't be worried about getting the 2 extra ones, but they do come in useful. As far as the vacuum attachment goes, these are your 2 accessories that you get with it. Just pop that onto there, and if you've got a take-off vacuum or anything similar like this, all that happens is that just attaches onto there, and then that onto there, and you've now got vacuum attachment, which is fantastic. Right, now if we have a look at it in more detail then, so there's your guide, sorry, there's your blade cover there. If we flip it over, this is currently set for 20mm depth cut, and as you can see there, all you do is loosen that off and you can just change it. So if we pop it over to 10mm there, tighten it up. Now when I pull that back, you've got basically a 10mm cut there. So that's nice and straightforward. This is for your angle of your cut, so open that, and again you can, if I just move that out of the way, you should be able to see there you've got your degrees. So you just change your degree, change it over to 45 degrees if you wanted, which is, let me just see, there we go. So that's set at 45 degrees. Again, just tighten that, and if you're going to cut, you're going to get a 45 degree cut there. Undo that, pop it back. Right, I've mentioned about the laser guide. So obviously if you were cutting, just switch that on. It goes across there, and if you've got a pencil mark to follow, then that makes it easy to do. And if we pop the guide in, that simply goes into there like that, through there, and then you just tighten it up there. You've got a hex head screw there, and we have a look on the back. Stuck to the handle there is the, pull that out, it's a bit cold so all the rubber's hard, at least you know you're not going to use it. Take that out, just pop it in, tighten it up, and there's your guide to be used. If you've ever used a tool similar to this before, you'll know how easy it is to swap out the blades. And we're going to take this tile cutting blade out now, the diamond tile cutting blade, and swap it out with the tungsten toothed rough cut blade. Really, really simple, really, really straightforward. So you just make sure that you've got the blade that you actually want to use, pop it to one side, and now you've got to remove this. The thing to remember is it doesn't screw tight clockwise, it screws tight counterclockwise, and that's just because of the rotation of the blade, the directional rotation of the blade. To actually take this off though, if you just flip it over, on the back there, this button locks the blade. So if I put my finger on that and then turn the blade, you'll see at some point, right, it's locked there, which basically means that I can take the supplied Allen key, pop it on, and I can unlock it once it locks into place, which is there. Right, it's not going anywhere. And remember, to unlock it, you're actually rotating it clockwise. So that's that way. Once it's been loosened off, just remove the centre nut there with your fingers. You've got a washer, so pop that to one side. Take the arbor off, which is that, and then just pull that back and remove the blade. Take that out, get the new blade, pop it in, and if you have a look, on one side you've got no writing, on the other side you've got writing. Just make sure that the one with writing is facing you. Bring it in, pop it onto there so it seats. That can go back. Get the arbor again, sit it on, and get the bolt with the washer. And remember, it screws in anti-clockwise. Goes against everything that you've ever been taught. Finger on the button on the back again to lock it. When I find it, there we go. And then just take it round until it's nice and tight. If I take my finger off the button at the back, you can see that it spins round now. Again, put my finger on and it locks into place and it's not going anywhere. So that's the blade all done and dusted. Now let's see it working. First thing that I'm going to do though, I'm just going to set the guide to 8 centimeters. If I loosen that off, bring that across until it's on 8, which is, which is there. Tighten it back up again so it's not going anywhere. Alright, now we've got it plugged in, so it's simply a case of putting it on the edge, making sure that the guide's there. We've got this set up so that there's no deflection, it's basically 0 degrees, and now we're just going to cut across. So it's a really quiet motor. Before I cut it, I'm just going to switch it on. To do that, you've got a safety switch there, that needs to be depressed, and then just pull back. And that's it. Now the mic may have picked that up and made it seem noisier than it actually is, but it's not noisy at all. Right, let's see it cut. Right, so we've got it in place. I've pulled the teeth back so that it's not going to jam on it when I start it. Let's get it started. Right, I just made the rookie mistake there. I've only got this set to 10 millimeters, which basically means, there you go, it's only set to 10 mil. So it's only cut 10 mil in, so it's not cut through. This is about 20 mil, so I just need to reset that. Unscrew it, pull it back, tighten it up again, and now if I pull that back, you can see how much of the blade is showing, so there's plenty there. Right, I'm going to reset this to 9 centimeters so that we miss the bit that I've just messed up there. Right, let's get it cutting. Absolutely perfect. And you say how quick that was as well. That's the rough cut blade, but by no means is that a rough cut. And that's cutting through aged pine, that. So fantastic. Okay, let's see it on a tile. Right, you saw how easy it went through the timber, very easily. This is a completely different kettle of fish. This is probably a 9 or 10 millimeter porcelain tile, so very thick, very heavy duty. I'm going to swap the diamond cutting blade back onto it, and then we'll see it cutting this. The recommendation is that you always turn it off at the socket before you change the blade. Right, so we've got the blade swapped out, we've got the diamond cutting blade in, and I'm going to switch the laser on. There we go, we can see it. Now, there's no cut that's required on this tile. All the work's already been done on them. So this is literally just an example cut for you. So let's see it in operation. Again, press the safety. And there we go. And that is cutting into a very, very tough porcelain tile. I wouldn't say it was like knife through butter, but it's certainly easier than using a tile saw anyway. So that's a definite recommendation. Right, let's have an in summary then. So it's powerful, it's 700 watt, it's rated at 3,500 RPM. All the blades are obviously rated higher than that. It's very, very well weighted, and all the controls are within easy reach, so you're not messing around. It's not a jack of all trades, a master of none. It's quite a specific tool. So I've got chop saws and circular saws, but this is something that you can take out, plug in, use very quickly, and because of its size and the ability to be able to maneuver it, it's really useful for, so I used it for tiling. I'm going to be using it the next day for just finishing off some skirting that I've got, just a tiny piece. So I'll be cutting it straight, but then I'll also be cutting a 45-degree angle to butt it up to the other one. It's a really, really tidy tool. If you've never used the laser guide, they're absolutely fantastic. If you can't get the guide on the side and follow it because you've got a corner or something like that, to be able to use the laser to follow the pencil mark is really, really useful. So yeah, that's a big recommendation. A very, very nice tool that I can definitely recommend.